So let's see what questions that we may have coming in. Well, this one is a good one. It takes too long for me to personalize my messages myself. So how am I supposed to meet my activity levels and book enough meetings that if I'm researching every person that I reach out to? I hear this actually a lot from SDRs that I work with. And it's true. It is going to take you more time to do the research, to be able to personalize your messages so that you can be relevant to the person that you're talking to, especially when you first start doing it. Because like anything that we're learning that's new, when we try to first start to learn it, it's very slow at first. We have to crawl before we can walk, and we have to walk before we can run. But the good news is that the more that we do it, the faster and better we get at it. The important thing I think to remember here is that you need to do just enough research to be able to start the conversation. You don't need to know every little thing, but you need to know enough that piques your curiosity, that helps you to think of questions that you can develop to pique their curiosity, and see what things you might be assuming, but ask the questions to confirm whether your assumptions are spot on or off the mark. This actually reminds me of an SDR that I recently coached. He had been struggling with this exact same thing of, I have all of these activity levels. I'm the highest as far as the dashboards go and the leaderboards go on my activity metrics, but I'm not getting meetings and I'm not getting a monthly recurring revenue. And so I'm in danger of going on plan. And so he was freaking out a little bit. And so I worked with him and struggled with him about how to do the research and how to personalize the outreach and craft messages that were going to be relevant to the people that he was talking to. What I had him do was start by getting organized. And what I mean by that is start organizing your target accounts by industry and then by the contacts in the roles of those industries. So ultimately for them, that he could see, for example, everyone who was in the fintech industry that was also a VP, so that he could then find some relevant information, like reading up on the industry. What has been some of the major impacts that have been happening to that particular industry? And then thinking about from the VP level, what's going to be important to them. For example, most VPs are very strategically minded, and they're looking at developing and executing a strategy. So they're going to care about how to effectively do that, how to effectively measure that, so that they can make the best decisions possible about how to pivot and move forward. They should also care about how to build their teams and develop relationships with their teams. So if you have a solution that helps them to address some of those things, then I would suggest that you look at what are some of the questions that I can ask, what are some of the things that I can point out that I know about them in their industry and their role, and what is a case study or a use case study that I have that's relevant to them that I could share as an example or social proof of some of the results that others like them have seen. Now, when you as a seller or leader know what your buyers care about, it makes it easier also to know what kind of research you need to do. In this particular case with this SDR, I had them look into LinkedIn Sales Navigator and see what was the distribution of new hires has been, or to also look in Crunchbase to see what funding has been most recent for the company to give an idea of where they might be in their stages of growth, or based on the distribution of headcount or who they're trying to hire, where are they focusing their growth efforts on? These places can give you all kinds of clues how to craft a relevant message to them. Now, when this BDR did that, he got a meeting booked for his rep with a decision maker of all things. But what was interesting about this is what happened at the end of the call that the rep had that the BDR had booked for them with this decision maker. And as the seller was wrapping up the call, the sales leader stopped everything and he said, you know what? I have ignored all kinds of outreach from BDRs for the first 4.5 years. And I definitely was not looking for this solution. But when I saw the message that your BDR sent and I knew that he had done his research and created a custom message that was relevant to me, not only did I respond, but I was actually curious to learn more, which is how we got here today. I wish more BDRs took the time to do that. So yes, doing the research, doing the preparation is going to take a little bit more time. But if you believe that selling is about the numbers, then consider this. If you took a 10 or even a 5% more people to respond to you in this way, like this sales leader did, would you have to spend so much activity time and outreach to reach your goals? Probably not. So take it in balance. It can't all be automation and just constant spamming, because when we do that, we're teaching our buyers to not respond to us. But if we take the time to do the research, to make a relevant message, you're going to be all that much more likely to not only get a response, but to get and uncover some problems that buyers actually want to solve and solve now.